Hi, I want to correct myself about something I've been saying in a few comments lately about Jaimie Weisberg in reply to people who've been saying that she is probably lying about her genetic disorder, or I've been replying to people who've been suggesting it's Prader Willi, and I've said I don't think it's that because she doesn't have the symptoms. I was never saying she was lying about having one. I was just saying I don't think it's Prader Willi, and I now want to correct that because I don't want to spread misinformation in any way about any of these conditions. And I also would it'd be nice if Jaimie sees this because she might not know that if that is what she has. Obviously, I don't really know if that is what she has been diagnosed with, then there is treatment for it now, and she might not know that because it's fairly recent that it's been licensed. I don't know if it's available in Canada widely or talked about there, but it definitely is available in the US, for example. And she's got money; she could hopefully access it. But there is a medication that gives them satiety cues. It's based on choline. I can't remember the name. It's difficult to say. I just remember it was based on choline, which is in eggs and helps. Even normal codeine helps with appetite regulation, actually. And the reason that I want to take it back is I hadn't noticed her hands are actually tiny, like mine. Okay, so I'm suspected of another imprinting disorder, which is what Prader Willi is. It's in the family of imprinting disorders. And there is overlap between the one I think I have, which I'm waiting for methylation testing to confirm or deny. It's temple syndrome is the one I think I have, and it has overlap. There are overlapping symptoms. So the tiny hands, Angelica Unfiltered pointed out her hands, and I had to have another look and think, was I like too quick to dismiss that she has small hands? Because the pictures I saw, I didn't really think so. But look at what I see as like these hands, right? These are baby hands, right? So my idea of what small hands is might be skewed by the fact that my hands are so abnormally small as well. And I was mentally correcting in my head for the fact that her hands will look smaller because of her her width, right? It's going to make the hands look smaller anyway. I might have overcorrected for that, and I do think, yeah, she does have small hands, and she also has certain facial features associated with Prader Willi, and the insatiable appetite, and she says learning disabilities, mild to moderate. It absolutely all lines up, and it was what really did it for me was being reminded that her sister had cancer twice, the first time at 4, and it's a twin sister. And I also know from somewhere, I don't know where I know, and this is all stuff she said. I'm not revealing anything the family hasn't, or she hasn't put out there. She has said she has a genetic disorder that causes it to be hard for her to lose weight, and she has said that she has an adopted older sister. So the firstborn was adopted, then it was twins, one of which had cancer young, and the other one is saying that they have a genetic condition causing, well, I can see the small hands and insatiable appetite and these other things associated with Prader Willi. And it's like when you put all that together, that tells me, and the parents look a bit older in the photos that she has shared, it suggests they had IVF because they had first adopted a child. Then, when they did have children, it was twins. IVF increases the rate of twins. IVF greatly increases the chance of imprinting disorders. So, and imprinting disorders do include several imprinting disorders, a higher rate of childhood cancer and repeated cancer throughout life. It's hard for me not to conclude that what's most likely happening here is IVF induced imprinting disorders, probably two different ones between the two of them. There's, like, for example, Beckworth Wilderman syndrome increases your chance of early childhood cancer. It's a different imprinting disorder. So yeah, and I want to say to Jaimie, if she does ever watch this somehow, probably not. And anyone, if you have Prader Willi syndrome, there is treatment available now. There was I think there might actually be more than one because one of them was just licensed this year by the FDA. And I'm not saying I don't know if they're good or not. I'm not looked into it that much, but at least look into it, And there are people successfully losing weight, and I don't think they with Prader Willi, and I'm pretty sure they're not all on this medication even. There is a YouTuber I know for a fact because I've seen them in comments. I don't know if they actually make content. I think I followed them, but I haven't seen their content. And their name is something like Prader Willi Syndrome, losing weight with Prader Willi Syndrome, And they comment on anti-fat acceptance channels, frustrated at this fatalistic attitude because they are successfully losing weight with Prader Willi. And yeah, so I hope this is reversing any misconceptions I might have spread. Her hands are definitely small enough to qualify as Prader Willi because, like my hands, we might have similar sized hands given the same sort. I don't know what height she is. I'm 5'1", just like a hair over 5'1", and my hands look like this next to my head, and they look like it makes my head look huge, but my head is actually quite small. Like I struggle to find hats and earphones for adults that actually fit my head, or masks for anything that fits my head, because my head is actually small. But next to my tiny little hands, it looks kind of big, you know. So yeah, I know I don't want to dismiss the idea that she has it. Well, I never dismissed it was a genetic disorder, but yeah, just so you know, I'm on her side in that I don't think she's lying. Never thought she was lying about it. And Prader Willi is quite a likely, under the circumstances, I would say, explanation for her particular insatiable appetite. I'm not saying she doesn't also have BED, but I don't think it's just BED. I think it's BED plus some kind of genetic condition. I absolutely do believe she has some genetic condition. I don't think she's lying about that, and it likely is Prader Willi, in my opinion.